lot of restaurants, a lot of magazines, a lot of press, they're all talking about this eat local movement. Great idea. I mean, I love it. So here in the Northeast, we're in upstate New York. If tomatoes aren't in season, don't eat tomatoes, because you only want to buy the product that's in your own backyard. Well, that doesn't always make a lot of sense. See, I'm all for supporting the farmers. I really believe that. I dealt with a local farmer, and I told him the type of greens we're using in our salads, and he said, well, I can't possibly produce that much greens for you. And I said, well, you misunderstand. You produce whatever greens you do, and I'll incorporate that into my menu. I think that's where local, eating local, this whole slow movement, great idea. But in concept now, this is economics we're talking about, right? The problem is that there's a shorter shelf life. Usually these products are organic, so they got to come quickly to my table, my restaurant, so that I can put them on the table for you guys. But the next step is now that we're talking about the price to do that. A lot of times folks will look at a menu and they really don't care that Neiman's Ranch is the place that we bought this pork product, or they really don't care. So you see a lot of menus in the past couple of years that have had the actual purveyor listed on the menu. Now be honest, how many of you folks out there actually care? So we talk about it, but you have to support it. I think more importantly at the moment, given the economy and what we're going through as a nation, I think besides just eating locally, I think you need to, or supporting local food, I think you need to eat locally. What I mean by that is, how many of you guys and girls out there know that when you go to one of those chain restaurants, let's talk about the one where when you hear your family, that commercial just makes me sick. Because we don't eat the crap that you get at those restaurants. Not in my family, not the way I grew up. Let me give you quick examples. That one and the other guy across the street. The one that talks about the grill, the macaroni grill in the Olive Garden. Well, let me just throw some things out there. First of all, there's nobody in their kitchen that was trained in Italy, or most likely speaks Italian, grew up in an Italian family, or ever ate a calzone or a cannoli for that matter. I'll go that far. What they've been taught to do is to take a product that was manufactured in a factory somewhere, nowhere near where you and I live, and it was put in a plastic bag and it was shipped. Now, the staff at these establishments gets trained to put it in a microwave. I mean, I'm not joking here. There's nobody making this stuff from scratch. Otherwise, how would it be consistent from place to place to place? And if the biggest issue we have is talent out there, you're paying somebody $9 an hour. Do you really think that they spent 80 grand and went to a great culinary school? No. So what they're doing is they're taking the lowest common denominator. They're making this in a factory. They're adding chemicals to give it a shelf life. They're mailing it and shipping it to the local stores in your neighborhood, which then are trained and taught what microwave number to put it on. So I can go another step. How about that grilled chicken that you get in one of these places? What if I tell you that grilled chicken never saw a grill, that it was stamped and pressed out of chicken if you're getting real chicken and not some fabricated patty from all the scraps left over? And then what they do is they paint. That's what you heard me. They paint. It's a sugar-based solution. They paint lines on the chicken. Then it's frozen and shipped out to these same stores. So I think it's more important sometimes to not just worry about where the food is from, because most people don't seem to care, or they're not willing to spend more for it. But something that you can do is you can vote in your market, in your local economy, for the guy and girl that lives next door, for your neighbors that have built a business. Now that goes for the jeweler down the block, the shoemaker, it goes for the guy that owns the local card store. I'm not saying that they can't own a franchise. How about Subway? All the Subways, national franchise, they're owned by the family next door. They live in your neighborhood. Now think about those things. Think about also, if you needed a charity, something for your charity, you come into my restaurant or you go to my friend's stores, they're going to be the first people in the front line. They're going to give you something, a donation. They're going to let you put a little jar on the counter for people to throw their change in. Try doing that at the change. So next time you're out, you're thinking about the economy, you want to do a good deed, very simple. It doesn't take much to spend your dollars with people that put the dollars right back in your community. And that's what this is all about. We're talking about the food community. We're talking about community in general. Times get tough. Vote with your dollars. Decide who's going to stay open and make it through this hard economy. And think about the product that you're putting. Those are the decisions that you make more than legislating what goes on a label. Think about where you're spending your dollars. Buy locally, eat locally, and support your local vendors. Hey, you disagree? Give us a little email here. Send us a note. But come on, I'll do battle with you.